Did you know that there are female characters in Small Brawl? We already got to play as Mime, the extremely well-hidden character with no storyline. Now let's play as the other lady, Twister. Not the brightest bulb in the pack, but one of the best drivers, seeking the ultimate thrill ride. Perhaps that means she wants to go to Disneyland, because in order to get her prize, she's gonna have to win the Super Bowl in Gridiron Gore. A level that sounds much more exciting and interesting than what it actually ends up being. It's a football field. The Ocean City Tsunamis will be playing against an as of yet unspecified team. Or rather, they already have played against them and have abandoned the gargantuan playing field for the Twisted Metal tournament. Their opponents were the Shelbyville Roadkill. Death to Shelbyville is what I always say. Me and my violence gang. Ooh, not looking good for the Tsunamis. Let's remove all evidence of them losing 24-0. And try and do a little combat so that we don't lose 24-0. We actually get a little reward for destroying that. Halloween party at the laboratory, October 31st, 7 p.m. Bring the RC car of your choice. That's an ad for the shock therapy level, the first bonus level we unlocked a very long time ago. Perhaps all the horrifying things we saw in that level were just props all along. Although I'd like to think that Abby, the disembodied brain, was actually the third female character in this game. Here's an ad for Canyon Financial. Sink your money into a great big hole. Gotta appreciate truth in advertising. And there was an ad for Chum Cola. You can see it on the green billboard just up ahead. And unfortunately, those are the only two ads in the area, repeated over and over on each wall. That's like 10 opportunities for sign gags that they missed. And apparently the audience stuck around after the game to watch the Twisted Metal tournament and are stomping out We Will Rock You in the stands. I guess without the vocals, it's not copyright infringement. Doesn't exactly line up with the music track either, which is based on the Moscow music from Twisted Metal 2. Pretty good song, and the guitar gets all shreddy throughout this track, which sounds awesome. Here's Twister's iconic special. Spin enemies around for a while. Just like with Mr. Slam, you can take the enemies around with you, although the AI will never do that, giving the player an advantage when using this vehicle. Got ran over by the lawnmower, which does a tremendous amount of damage, because every vehicle in this game is very fragile. Now here is technically the environmental attack. The lawnmower, rather than drifting in a figure 8 pattern all around the field, will go directly for the nearest enemy, much faster than usual. But it is limited. It can only go so far outside the lines. And if an enemy is not within the lines, they will probably not get hit anyway. I honestly have a hard time using the environmental attack offensively. Mostly I just rely on the enemies to stumble into the blades, as I have already done, and probably will do again. Did manage to twist Mr. Grimm to death, which feels really good. And honestly, I think the idea for this level is great. It's a football field. Everyone knows iconic football field levels, like Duke Nukem and others. Great setting for a video game. You could sort of see this level as this game's Holland. Just a gargantuan open area with two destructible landmarks on either side. I'm more inclined to call this the Eternal Acres of Small Brawl. That level from Rogue Trip, that is absolutely terrible. This level is sort of designed against the way that Small Brawl even works. Most of the vehicles are very slow because they're very small. That was amazing, though. You can do that in any level, really, but you don't get to appreciate it as much in a smaller level. For some reason, Sweet Tooth got caught on the very rim of the tornado, and thus got thrown half a mile away when the tornado ended. So that was satisfying enough. But yeah, it's very, very hard to get to enemies. Enemies have a hard time getting to you even. So for many vehicles, this level is very easy and very, very boring. I specifically chose Twister because Twister is the fastest vehicle in the entire game, and thus can navigate the gigantic play space in a reasonable amount of time, although it still takes quite a while to get where you're going. Pickups are extremely spread out, leading to a lot of downtime collecting items so that you can even do combat. You'll end up relying on your special quite a bit. And for most vehicles, it regenerates pretty slowly. This is one of the disadvantages of playing as Twister here. You need to get very close to your targets to use your special, and they might be very far away. But it can also grab two enemies. We've seen it before. Damage against a single enemy with the special is pretty bad, but it is worth it if you can hit multiple enemies with the special. Now, all that remains is Sweet Tooth. Head-to-head combat. The way it was always meant to be, with Sweet Tooth as the final boss of the football field. But there's still an undestroyed scoreboard. And I don't have a good weapon for it, so here's a little experiment. Dropped a remote bomb right underneath the scoreboard, set it off, and it worked. The scoreboard has 1 HP, but it is so far off the ground that missiles usually cannot get to it. Fortunately, our blast radius can. Also, the scoreboard never stops burning unless you turn the camera away and then turn back. This one says, "Dear Santa, I want a mime for the holidays," with a drawing of the mime vehicle being placed into a stocking. Your one clue to unlock the Holiday Havoc level and break all the stockings. Doesn't tell you to do that in endurance mode, but you'll figure that out eventually. Oh look, we're free! Now, Twister will get to experience the ultimate thrill ride.
Like, I thought that you said that I could go fast.
You'll go plenty fast, babe.
Yikes!
Might wanna tighten that seatbelt, Twister!
Pretty much the exact same fate of Amanda Watts, the original driver of Twister, has befallen young Twister. A wish to go fast that ends up being lethally fast. Also, when I said that Twister was the fastest vehicle in this game, I was quoting the instruction manual. However, Crimson Fury is actually faster. The instruction manual lied. The level's not excruciating, even if you do play it as a slow character, just a little bit boring. I think we made the best of Gridiron Gore, my least favorite level in the game. See you next time when some other mundane location becomes a killing field for some toy cars.